All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here as usual. Our little bit of our pre-show festivities as we get going on this week's Edgewater Race Report. Turn that down a little bit there. Back on to a little different, mixing it up here with a little Metallica this week to get things going. And again, we are live here with this week's Edgewater Race Report, our pre-show weekly festivities. We allow people a little time to get into the chat to join us here at facebook.com/Edgewater Race. Hey, we got a couple people already join us there. If you're joining us here, hey, give us a like, give us a share, let everybody know that you're tuning in. And also, we want you to be part of the episode. Leave us a comment. We love sharing those up on the screen. Get involved, especially here in the offseason. You might have a lot of questions about things that are going to be coming up in 2024. You might have some suggestions, things like that. Hey, we welcome them all. We want to address them. We want to talk about them right here on the Edgewater Race Report. You might be thinking, hey, the season's over. What are you guys going to be talking about? We have got a lot to cover. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be out there on location with our sponsors, letting you get to know about all their amazing offers, what they mean to us as partners at the track there. We're going to be talking about the Racers Banquet, the end of the season with all of those big payouts that Rob's got stashed away there at the homestead under the mattress, I'm sure, in the envelopes all ready to go there. All the good
sewn in the curtains.
Yes. But today we have I think it's going to be a tremendous conversation, some real insight to the inner workings of the track. I'm not going to give that away yet, but we're going to be talking about it on the other side here. We're going to give it just a few more moments here to allow some people to join us here. Again, we're almost at, we usually wait around that dozen mark before we officially start the episode. Hey, give us a like, give us a share. Let everybody know you're here. We want to grow the audience. Tracks might be closed, but we are still eager to talk racing, especially at Edgewater. Hey, what do you know? We are almost there. I'm going to hit that countdown. Once I do, you know what it's going to do? We're going to take a brief break. We're going to see you on the other side of it to officially start this week's episode of the Edgewater Race Report. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Edgewater Race Report. Hey, it is November 30th. We're getting ready to flip that calendar into December. The tracks are closed, but we are still more eager than ever to talk a little racing, especially at Edgewater. As always, I am Rick Vickery, joined on the other side of the screen there by Mr. Rob Wiley. Rob, welcome back to your show.
Always great to be back, Rick.
Well, it looks like you survived. You survived the household of everybody getting together at the Wineleys. Nobody strangled each other. I think everyone's accountable for. How was the Thanksgiving?
Oh, we did. Thanksgiving was at my mom's, so we're going to have not New Year's, but Christmas Eve is always over here. So
Christmas, yeah, we can tell you guys are ready to go. The festive season has begun there at the Wineley household. A beautiful looking tree in the background.
Yeah, my wife loves Christmas trees for some reason, but she's calmed down. There was at one point there were 9 Christmas trees in our house, and I think we're down to 1, 2. I think there's only 2 trees up right now. But
wow.
There's 4, and there's a couple little ones going outside, and then I'm sure we'll get one downstairs, and then the kids will get one up on the second floor too.
Well, there you go. You still got plenty of time. We're still in November. We haven't officially flipped over the calendar to December. Of course, tomorrow kicking off December 1st on the home stretch there towards Christmas. And Rob, I wanted to do something this week to really deep dive into what you really spend a lot of your time, you sink your teeth into, especially in this off season. I know a lot of people think, hey, the track's closed. Rob's probably kicking his feet up. There's not much going on. He's got a couple months that he could just take it. It's easy street, not much going on, but that's not necessarily the case in one of the, I don't want to say chores, but one of the, the most daunting, it needs to be precise, taxing. responsibilities that you handle is putting together the schedule each and every year.
Yeah, the schedule's incredibly important. Just getting the dates right. Just you try to work with the tracks that are relatively close by. You don't want to step on their big races if you don't have to. You try to do something that's different than what they're doing. I believe there's room for everybody to succeed. So it's a matter of just trying to. You can't go and they're having somebody else is having a big money race real close. You don't want to try to have a big money race the same time. It just hurts both of you. So working on different things and different avenues to fill up the racetrack and to fill up the stands.
Well, I've got a number of bullets here that I want to ask you about. I've spent my entire professional life working in live events, and I know everything, every layer that goes into it, every angle and avenue. You've got to look down to make sure that all of your eyes are dotted, your T's are crossed. I think that's an excellent starting point there, Rob, is the communication with you and other local tracks. Some people would say competition, but in reality, you're all in this together. Now,
Yeah,
is there a good network of communication, or maybe who has claim on certain times of year? Is it just about established races? How do you introduce maybe something new, a concept? How does the communication work between you and the others?
Well, it's just a matter of appreciating the other people if they've got a big established race. Just appreciation. They've had that for a long time, and that's something that's one of their big money makers, and it helps keep their facility going. And you do your best if and try not to step on other people's races and try to work out a living for everybody. And it's really important that we all work together and make sure all the racetracks continue to stay open. It's a really disheartening study that if a racetrack shuts down, 40% of the people that go there and race stop racing forever. So every time we lose a track, you lose a big, huge percentage of racers. And we have to keep building the sport, keeping everybody involved for as long as possible. We talked about in the last episode about if you getting your significant other involved with the race, with racing, part of the team, the possibility of you racing for years and years is much higher than if you're just doing it alone. And your wife or your husband's looking at how much money you spend you're racing on your hobby, and it becomes an issue there. So it's good to get everybody involved. That's why it's really important to keep our facility. We pride ourselves in having one of the nicest facilities around. The grounds are always really nice. The grass gets meticulously cut every week. We're weed eating, grass cutting, and just trimming the trees and making sure everything looks good and ready to go for the weekend. So it's a nice, enjoyable place for people to come down and spend the weekend with us. And
hey, oddly enough, well, we will be talking about that on one of our off-season episodes. I have that on my list of topics here about grounds maintenance and what it takes through the week. Now, Rob, when we're talking about the other tracks, what is your radius? Like, how far are you looking out? Mileage, state-wise, number of tracks that you got to take into consideration when you're building the Edgewater schedule?
Well, most people on average won't travel more than about 3 hours for a race, really 2 hours or less. There are people that'll drive.
I'm sure you see a little bit. I'm sure you see maybe that open up a bit more with the bigger money races.
The bigger money races, people will travel further, but we've got people that come in from New York that come down once or twice a year, just come out and have fun at the racetrack and just experience how beautiful it is down at Edgewater. It's just set up, in that valley and along the beautiful river, and just all the trees, and just the landscape's nice, and it's just a nice place to race. People just enjoy coming and being there. So want to keep that good. We're cleaning up the back area, the 35. We cleaned up the 35 acres to the right this past year where the dirt track, the proposed dirt track was going to go. and got that back in order. Now we're working on the 35 acres back where the old pavilion is and the old stage and stuff, and get that together so that we can have concerts. And I'm really been wanting this concept. I've been thinking about it for a few years, to have a rock and race concert with concept where we have 128 cars come in, and we race for 7 hour, 8 hour period, and then it's a concert that evening. Obviously have security to stay in the pits, so all the racers can come over and listen to some great music and have some fun, and have an event more, that's has a lot of great racing on it, but it's also more fun that you can socialize and have fun with everybody and enjoy. It's if you haven't been in the back where the stage and everything, it's absolutely beautiful back there. So really cool place to hang out and enjoy the facility, and to utilize all 170 acres that we have. That's big on my plans for next year.
When we talk about the bread and butter, the bracket racers, they're there
Mm-hmm.
each and every weekend. So
Yep.
many familiar faces. We love seeing new people stop by for those runs there. When it comes to, like a series like the Edgewater Track Points Championship, how many of those entered in our track championship do you see entered in other area track championships? And I'm sure that's a bit of a chore to try to balance. Is there a little bit to balance that, to make sure that they have a room to maybe compete in both?
There's a handful of people that will try to compete in both, but it's pretty much it's really hard to do. If you pretty much decide what track you want to be involved with, and that's the points program you run into. It's just depending on, we don't have a ton of points races, and a lot of tracks we just absolutely wear it out, and just force their people to try to be there. And I understand that people are, love to come race at Edgewater, but every now and then you want to see a different site, or you want to go to this race, or somebody's got some race they've been doing for 40 years. We understand that. And it's really hard if you're throwing points races in after points race after points race. So we try to make our points races concise. Like starting last year, I set the dates and that was it. It's going to be the same way this year, and it's really going to be neat. Some people are not really happy because they're moving it up to Norwalk, up to Summit Motorsports Park. But if you've been at a facility, it's just phenomenal. I've been up there and spent a lot of time talking with Bill Bader, and I envision. I don't know if we don't quite have as much acreage as they have. They've got 230 acres up there, but their facility is just amazing. It's
Incredible.
probably it's one of the best run facilities and there is in the country. So I think it's going to be great for our points people. It's instead of an hour and a half drive, it's 4 hour haul up to Norwalk, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And knowing Bill Bader is going to be meticulously done and mapped out, and a lot of fun. I know that he's planning on having a bigger money race on Sunday, which they haven't had. That was in our track meetings that we have every year, that he's been pushing for this, to give it an opportunity to draw more people into coming. When we have people sign up for points, and then sometimes it's difficult to fill our field of racers to take to it, even though it's pretty. You look at their flyer; it's a pretty decent payout. It's just getting people to haul at that 4 hours. So if there's another race there's multiple things to do, because Bill's really big on making it a family event, more than just a race. Yes, racing is the highlight, but there's a lot of other fun things for the kids, for the spouse,
Well,
for
more
friends,
reason
or
to
whatever.
bring everybody that's been supportive in getting there
Correct.
to have a celebration and have a good time.
Yeah, and we're working hard on that. We did a lot more of that last year, and I'm really working hard to have more of that this year, and having fun-filled races and different themes and things like that. We're working on getting special trophies for naming the races that we're going to have. We're going to have a bigger money race once a month, and getting our names in there. We've got the 1776 Nationals that we came there, and the Queen City Nationals. We've named a few of these, and just going to get distinctive trophies along with the big checks and stuff like that for that race. So you got something neat to take home and put on your mantle for winning those races.
There's something unique, something very special to stand out, and
Hmm.
just a piece of memorabilia that you're going to want to keep with you. And now, Rob, real quick again, on the track points championship, as you said, how so many other tracks, no pun intended here, run those into the ground. Is that why it was important to you to kind of scale that back to
Yeah,
just
just
go to what do we have 15, correct?
we're going to have actually a little bit less than that. We haven't decided on an exact number next year. We had 15 this year, and 3 of those rained out, so there were 12 of them total. And we're not going to have as many as last year, just to make it easier for more people to join and race points with us.
Very,
The
very nice.
bigger the more races you have, the bigger the commitment. And sometimes there's things that come up. People have weddings and stuff that they can't they can't make
Life
it to a race.
happens.
Life, yeah, exactly. Life happens. So we want to understand. We want to we understand that. We want to make it as easy for everybody, as many people as possible, to come out, enjoy the racetrack, and join our points program.
We'll let you go this time. You did let it slip. We try to refrain from using the R word. You said rain. I'm sure it's
Well,
almost like a Bible to you,
rain.
the Farmer's Almanac. When you have to look at these big events each and every year, and I've heard you regularly mention it here on the show, the 2 seasons we've been doing it, the weather trends. How
Yes.
far do you look back? What all entails into you trying to predict the weather, maybe a year out, to when you could target a weekend for a big event?
Yeah, there's statistics you can go in and find out the probability of it's going to rain a certain weekend. Just like you can figure out what's the average temperature on that weekend, what's the high, what's the low, in history out there, and what's the probability that's going to rain. So those are factors you look into, and there's certain months of the year that's really difficult to plan anything real big. We tried to do our Nitro Chaos last year on the early side, and we ended up moving in a week. We still had 20 Top Fuel cars come, but 4 of them couldn't make it with the reschedule. So it would have been nice to get those 4 cars. And it was just a little bit too early. So with the success and how well it went this year, Chris Graves is just absolutely excited about how good we did, or how many cars showed up, and what kind of turnout we had spectator wise for our first year. Everybody, spectators and people really seemed to leave happy and really enjoyed the show. So we moved it into a prime position. It's the week after Father's Day, so it'll be a great time of the year, beautiful weather, and that weekend tends to be really nice and warm and beautiful.
Rob, are you clicking a pen?
And can you hear it?
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned Nitro Chaos. You mentioned Nitro Chaos. We've got Nitro Chaos. We have got the Night of Thunder. We bring in, the great, like the UMTR. We got the Stasia. So many great attractions that we bring in each and every year. How do you handle, coordinating schedules, contacting, working them into the festivities at Edgewater?
It was a lot more work last year to put our Night of Fire together. I think the people that we had last year, stop it.
Yeah.
Put back down. The people that we had last year just had so much fun.
Of course, here Jay Helms remind me also the Scott Rod's great attraction that we had.
Yeah, Scott Rod's. I've gotten a really, really good relationship with Scott Leber now, and he's just a great guy. He's building it. They just got the body on it, and it's going out for paint. He's got a wheel stander that he's going to bring with him next year. We got them coming for a couple dates again next year.
Wow, okay.
And bunch of great guys. I love those. Love the double A gassers are really sweet. We got some good dates. We got 3 dates for Straight Axle Mafia. Again, great guys to deal with. Love the cars. They're just cool, unique stuff you don't see all the time. So it's really nice. You just develop a great relationship with these people, and they just want to come to Edgewater and be part of it. So I gave them an idea when our Night of Fire was going to be, and they left those dates open. I just had to fill a few more spots because I went a little crazy on booking. We've got, like I said, more than a baker's dozen booked, and got a hold of a guy from down in Florida, and I really only wanted one jet, and we get to talking. Well, was old time friend with my father, and actually the jet that we've got to drive the racetrack with, he helped my dad put that all together originally. Freddie Sibley's the guy's name, and he built one of the jet truck that we have scheduled. I had him scheduled last year. He couldn't get out of Canada. There was only 3 of those. He built all 3 of those in existence, and they're the biggest, baddest jet trucks in the world. And one Bob Motts drove for years, and he just retired last year, and a racetrack bought that just to have. That they have it just for the further entertainment.
Wow.
So it's not traveling anymore. And then the unfortunate accident last year, or the one at the air show, burnt up. So there's the only one left, and he's up in Canada with it, and he's had a hard time trying something to do with CDL and getting it out of Canada. So I've got him booked. Hopefully by next August, we'll be able to get him out of Canada and see it, because that truck is just phenomenal.
Looking forward to that.
I got sidetracked, but we're talking about Freddie Sibley down in Florida. And I'm talking to him. He goes, why just one? He goes, I got 3. So
we got 3, right?
me being me, 10's good. 12 jet cars will be better. So, we got him scheduled he's going to bring all of his up. So it's going to be over the top.
That's going to be flat out awesome there. So I mean, it is good. It is good that you got a lot of these national acts, these big time attractions. They're hearing the positives. They want to be a part of Edgewater. Are you still getting? I mean, because as you said, the schedule it is stacked. We've got so much going on. It seems, especially this past season, and I've had the sneak peek into this year. It's going to be even more so in 2024 with week to week. Banger, 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 home run, can't miss events. Do you still have some other attractions reaching out to you? How often do you see that there? Some people are they're hearing the buzz. They heard the word. They want to come in, and you maybe have to say, I don't know, guys, we'll keep you in mind. But
we've been having some people that are non-race related wanting to come out. We've got working on the group from Muddy Princess. We've got their big bounce run scheduled, and I'm trying to get their regular Muddy Princess race to come in. And, people seeing the facility, and, like we had a couple years ago, the movie was supposed to come out December 1st, but it's been postponed for now with the bike riders come down and wanted the facility just because it's such a beautiful place to film, and did that. So we've been approached that way, and other groups want to come in and put races on and things like that. So just a matter of sifting through and finding out what is, what will work and what won't work, basically.
No, absolutely. That's kind of a good question here. You can maybe something you can speak towards. Is availability for track rentals that you offer?
Yeah, it's you've got certain dates with Michael Beard. That we did our Oktoberfest with, just wonderful guy. Really, I'm happy that I got introduced to him and got a really great working relationship with him. He just great promoter and puts on an incredible race, Oktoberfest. And there's a certain weekend he wants because it's between 2 dates and people have to come this way going to the other facility. So that really helped out with, being inaugural season last year. We had such a great turnout, and once people realize how good the word travels, how good the track is, how nice the facility is, how well run, obviously everybody loves Michael Beard because he puts on a great event, and he's incredibly fair and consistent. And that's what people like to see in it, and word travels, and that really helps growing it for next year as well.
Well, right, as you said, I mean, it is. As soon as the event ends, you're planning to potentially bring that back for next year. It is a never-ending task, and especially this time of year when you're trying to finalize all that.
We meet every week, and we talk about the past weekend, each day of racing, what went well, what didn't go exactly well, what we need to work on and improve on, and keeping notes, and just constantly working to be better and improving and improving. And before, before I really got into the meat of working on the schedule, we sat down for a few weeks and talked about, okay, what was successful, what was so-so, what was the reason, turnout wasn't quite what we expected, or turnout was more than what we expected, and try to learn from that and work on your strengths, and try to get rid of whatever weaknesses you may have.
Mr. Mark Unling here with a great question. What's the plans for Index Racing and Cincy Street Nights on Fridays next year? Cincy Street Nights in general.
Okay, we've got. I met with Jason and Brad yesterday. We've got a date, from Tin Soldier. We have a date planned for them. They want to do one big, huge event. They're not really race promoters. They want to race next year. So we've got that date. That's going to be the first weekend of September, the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And they're going to, Jason was into motorcycles, so we're going to try to have some stunt shows, all kind of stuff with that. I just wants it to be just a big, huge fun party along with a great race. Haven't exactly worked on the format, exactly what we're going to do format wise, but it's going to be different from day to day. So it'll be really exciting for that 3-day event. So we have that, and then been gotten to know Happy and his wife Kenzie, and she runs US 60. She's phenomenal, and we're going to put on 4 races with them next year. So we got 5 no prep dates set up, plus their streetcar takeover. I'm going to do a couple, which is a fully prepped event. We're going to do a couple more. We didn't do any this year. We're going to do a couple of dates around our prep dates that we're going to do full prep testing, radial tire testing events, and just do a tune and test just for the radial tires and stuff. So we're going to work on that. So we've got a lot going on with our small tire stuff, the no prep and the radial prep. And just going, there's a master list with, your big money bracket race. And then Michael Beard has a great resource for anything over $5,000, over 5,000 payout, where they're at. And your small tire stuff has gotten, there's a lot, every racetrack out there wants to have, a no prep event or anything to do with small tire. There's money to be made there, so everybody wants to do it. So there's so many people coming into the arena that haven't done it before, or racetracks are trying to put their own on, and it isn't successful if you don't have the right contacts, the right people involved. And it's more than just throwing a class or 2 together. It's a matter of putting on an event that people want to come, because people want to come see racing. They want to have a great time. They want to be entertained. And if you've been on YouTube and you listen to Bill Bader from Norwalk Talk, we're in the entertainment business. That is entertainment first. Yes, racing is premier, and we have to have
it's the spotlight, it's the marquee.
It's the spotlight, it's the marquee, and you have to put on a great product, but you have to entertain people, because the spectators now are fickle. There's so much entertainment options for people out there. You gotta be able to give them a great product to have them come in and enjoy the racing. Back in the 80s, 90s, all you had to do was have a race and you'd have thousands of people show up. Now you've got to put on a really cool event that's fun. The vibe's got to be hopping. So we got some really cool stuff working with Happy and Kenzie with flashlight starts, and we're going to have a great small tire season next year as well. Are you there, Rick? Did I lose you?
Absolutely. Got a couple of questions here. Great. We've had a
Sure.
great crowd sticking with you. Yep. I'm here. Am I here? All right. Let's try to get to a couple more questions in here. Rob, before we get out here, I got Mr. Grigsby here with a question. What about the Outlaw Pro Mods and Great Lakes Funny Cars?
I'm working on trying to find the right sponsor on the pro mod end. I was working with trying to get Midwest Pro Mod Series to come through, and we've got to hopefully have them be able to come through in 2025. They didn't have any dates. They're only racing 6 times this year. They're going to 2-day formats, so there's less travel involved. So they didn't have all the established tracks. They didn't have any room for expansion this year. So hopefully we can get that laid down for 2025 as far as pro mods go. And to get the kind of car count that we need to put on a really great show. I've got to find a sponsor to help with payout and stuff. So I'm working on that good quality sponsor to put in the kind of payout. We had a great payout. We paid almost $18,000, but it isn't. Those cars are so expensive. There's so few of them. There's different series and groups that guys race in. It's trying to get those to come to your facility or to try to be able to have a payout that'll get these guys to drive from Texas, out west, Florida and stuff like that, where these cars are more prevalent. Is just more money that's in the picture right there. And I really want to I don't want to see the program. We did the 2 races last year, and they were part of Nitro Chaos, and they were part of Night of Fire. And it kind of, yes, it was nice to have them at those races, but it kind of took away from those cars. Really should be marquee cars. And there's so few door cars that run 350s in the 8th. It's just so rare. So we're working on getting that sponsor. So hopefully, we can bring them back. I don't have anything scheduled for next year. I still have a couple of dates, a couple of weekends open. I'm not saying that they're not out, but it's just a matter of landing the right sponsor to make that happen. So that's where we're at with that.
We'll field one more here from Big Cash Kurth here, minus Oktoberfest. Your dad's a memorial race, the Queen City and the 1776. He wants to know about any potential big money races, as you mentioned earlier. We're going to try to have a big money race each and every month.
Yeah, each month. I'm pretty sure each month we've got a 12K, 8K. We may have, that seemed to work really well for us this year. 12K on Saturday, 8K on Sunday, do a gambler's race on Friday night. So it's people that want to race 3 days in a row. Nice payouts, reasonable entry. And we're also doing our Bash for Cash. And I really think bring back, my dad used to do that, but we're going to do higher dollar payouts, and my father do. We've got the facility to get the car count that we need to do that type of race, real low entry. We want to do $100 single, 175 double, 175 weekend, and we'd like to pay out 10 grand to win. So that's our goal on our Bash for Cash. We're going to do that. So we're going to have two bigger money weekends each month. So it'll be happening.
Very, very nice. Now, Rob, to close out, this has been a tremendous conversation. So much great insight into what it takes to put the season together. I mean, at the end of this thing, for you, once you see everything come together, it be a season, a big event, what's the most rewarding part of it for you? I mean, there are all these sleepless nights and months of putting these things together.
It's always, the kind of money that, last year with doing the Night of Fire and doing the Nitro Chaos, just the amount of money that was put into bringing that show to town, and you're trying to judge how many people can you get in, how much you have to spend on marketing to get that many people through the gate. Is this too much money? what can we expect? What if the weather's bad? How much money are we going to lose if the weather's bad? Because you've got to commit to these people, and they need X amount of money, or they're regardless if it rains or it shines, and then all that money you spend in marketing and all the time that's involved with that's gone if you have to reschedule it or it gets rained out. So it was nice to see both. Actually, the three real big races: Michael Beard's race, the Oktoberfest, the Night of Fire, and Nitro Chaos. It was great to see those go as well as they went. We were fortunate on weather. It wasn't perfect on all of the weekends, but could have been a little cooler on one, a little warmer on others, and weather still was. Michael Beard's weather was still a little higher on where we wanted to see where the rain threat and stuff like that. So everything went great. So when you're doing it again the second year, you've got that benchmark, and you feel like that there's not as big a risk. For us being able to, the Bash for Cash that I want to do is put a real low entry. You can do a lot of racing all weekend and with a big payout. So we got to be able to get people in the gate and attract racers from further away than we normally attract them, just to get the numbers to be able to make that race work. But I think we can do it. We've got the facility to do it. It's time to do it. So we're gonna give our big swing at it, and hopefully it's as successful as I think it can be. We're going to do the 12.8K is going to be, we're going to paying down to third round winners, just like the formula that Michael Beard does at Oktoberfest. So everything's going to work out. It's going to be similar in nature to that race. And I'm excited for the season, and I really believe that those are going to be great events. And we can, you can't have a high dollar, high entry, big money race all the time. Racers, I mean, we're all hardworking people, and you just don't have the money to forking out $600 every week to try to race. There's people that go around that's all they do for a living, that frequent the real big money, the 50K and up races. So we want to concentrate on the people that more our regulars, people that just love enjoying to come out and race, and it's not necessarily their job, and have a great time and do it without having to spend a whole lot of money.
Take care of those that take care of us.
Correct.
Speaking of taking care of those that take care of us, big, as always, a thank you to all of our sponsors. But hey, how about a specific shout out this holiday season? If you're hitting all those parties, you're coming to and fro, out and about for all your party needs, be sure to visit T Daddy's Drive-Thru, a drive-thru for all your convenience store goods. Hey, they are praised by many for offering the best prices in town. T Daddy's Drive-Thru. They stock a wide variety of convenience store goods. We're talking alcoholic, non-alcoholic beverages, snacks, and all your party supplies. The service is always prompt, friendly, and on point. Visit T Daddy's. They're located over at 5116 State Route 128, just there between Route 50 and Miamitown. That's Cleves, Ohio 45002. Again, that's T Daddy's for all your convenience store goods. A great sponsor of ours there at Edgewater.
Yep. Make sure you guys support Ken Herbert. He just recently bought Heating, Reading, and Air, and we got an old heater in the concession. I think it was original when my dad built it there. That's it's on his last limp, and we're gonna support him so he can give us an extra special deal when we have to have that replaced sooner rather than later. So.
All right, Ken Herbert Plumbing, continuing to grow his operations. Rim Time, Northgate. You got all the car dealerships there. Chrysler. What do we got? Dodge, Jeep, Ram. If you're in the mood for something good to eat, grab to our friends and State Line Restaurant out there on 50.
Yep.
Looking for some good spirits this holiday season. The Motors Brewing Company, all of our sponsors. Hey, we're hopefully going to be bringing you a couple shows from their locations, sharing all of their specials with you this off season as well. And we're looking to grow our sponsorship family, our partnerships in 2024. We're going to have some very cool packages. Release some news on that shortly. If you know anyone interested that's want to jump on board this train that we here at Edgewater.
Yeah, the more the merrier. We were just out at State Line, had breakfast, and talking to Rob. He's re-upped for next year. He actually wants to go bigger and better on his signage, be more involved because how good it has worked for his business, and the return on investment has been very good. So he's prepared to come up and be a bigger sponsor even again next year. So make sure if you're out that area, out there in Greendale, Indiana, make sure you stop by State Line and get you great breakfast.
Hey, I'll tell you what, for any of our sponsors, if you're using their services at your house, at your place of business, if you're out visiting them, if they've got a brick or mortar like that, hey, take a picture, check in on social media. Be sure to tag us at Edgewater, tag that location. Let them know that you're a supporter here of the Edgewater Race Report, or you're one of the competitors, the fans, the crews at Edgewater. Hey, we'll build those bridges. It's all about networking out there through social media to spread that good word. Rob, let's go ahead and close this thing out. Anything you'd like to add here before we hit the road this week?
Hey, if you're tearing your car down and getting it ready for next year, get on it, because that time it's going to be in the February soon. So get it going. We got some great races we're trying to do earlier on in the year. So get that ride ready so you can enjoy it all summer long. So all season long, I should say.
All season long. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of the Edgewater Race Report. We'll be back with you next week. Again, we're going to have a series of great conversations this offseason. We're going to be revealing big events in great detail. We got on location. We got the Racers Banquet, Appreciation Banquet coming up. So much more this offseason. Hey, real quick, I like this one here for the holiday season, Rob. I think we got to address this one. Rob, can we order shirts online from the store for the holidays?
Yes, you can. The thing is we need to get in and update all of most of our shirts are different than the ones that you're going to see online. But I plan on, we've got a lot of work going into before PRI, but I plan on, I really need to get to that next week and take photos and get those uploaded of all the new shirts we have that are available as well.
All right, that sounds. Hey, stay tuned for our holiday sale at Edgewater. Yep. Stay tuned for that.
Yep, and our new hoodies, like the one you have on.
There we go. Absolutely. We'll have that there. So, yeah, we're going to have all your holiday shopping needs as well. We'll bring you those updates here on the Race Report as well. And, of course, you can check the website, edgewaterrace.com, or keep up with everything right here, social media, at facebook.com/Edgewater Race. But, again, thanks for joining us here on this week's episode of the Edgewater Race Report. He is Rob Winley. I am Rick Vickery. Ladies and gentlemen, we are.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, we don't. I never thought of a new tagline for the off season, but hey,
I even said thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching. I'm always
thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming to see us. But thank you for watching.
It's going to be a bit before we see you at the track, but we'll see you right back here next week. The Edgewater Race Report.
Unless we can get some snow tire races.